Be me, 27 years old, live above a quiet bookstore. The city hums like a tired machine. Pages rustle at night though no one is there. I pretend not to hear. I always hear. The smell of dust is comforting. The books breathe softly. She used to come here. The girl with the yellow scarf. She smiled like she had secrets worth keeping. Met her 3 winters ago. We both reached for the same book. It was called The Shape of Forgotten Things. She told me to keep it. I told her I could not. She said then buy her coffee instead. I did. That was how it started. 2 strangers and a book older than both of us. We met every Friday. Same table, same cafe. Iced caramel for her, black coffee for me. She liked to sketch on napkins. I liked to listen. Sometimes she drew birds that had no wings. Sometimes she said they were learning. The world was gentler then. Or maybe I just believed it was. Her laughter filled the silence. One day, it stopped. She said she missed the old me. I asked which one that was. She said the one who smiled without reason. I told her that man had gone missing. She said that was not funny. We both laughed anyway, but it sounded wrong. Next week she did not come. Next month she still did not. The chair across from me gathered dust. The bookstore felt emptier. The lights dimmed on their own. I asked the old man at the counter about her. He said no one by that name came here. Told me he worked alone. Told me to get more sleep. His smile did not reach his eyes. I went home and opened her book. The pages whispered like old paper sighs. There was writing in blue ink. To remember is to live twice. I did not remember writing that. I read it again until the letters blurred. That night I dreamed of her. She sat by a window reading. Looked up and said I was late again. I said I tried. She said I never do. Woke up sweating. Book on my chest, opened to a page I did not recall. It said, "When you read this, it will begin." The next night I heard footsteps in the bookstore. Soft, like someone tiptoeing through sleep. Went downstairs, no one there. Books scattered on the floor. The one she gave me open again. The words had rearranged. They spelled my name. I whispered hers. The lights flickered. The air tasted like rain. Somewhere in the shelves, a laugh echoed. The laugh was hers. I froze, half believing, half remembering. The old man appeared in the doorway, told me to close early. Said the store keeps what we forget. I asked what that meant. He just smiled. His shadow stretched longer than it should. I never asked again. Days passed like breath. The book refused to stay closed. I taped it shut once. The next morning the tape was gone. Pages fluttered as if exhaling secrets. There was a new note. It said, "Do not follow her." But I did. Of course I did. Went to the old cafe, same seat. Ordered 2 drinks out of habit. Waited. Rain came and did not stop. The reflection in the glass smiled at me. It was not mine. Yellow scarf in the reflection, eyes too kind. I blinked. She was gone again. Left a drawing on the table. 2 birds with broken strings. I kept it. I keep everything. The drawing, the book, the quiet. They all hum at night now. The city outside sounds like it is breathing. Sometimes I answer. Sometimes the echo answers first. Months drift. I start talking to the old man more. He knows things. Says memory is a cruel landlord. Says I still owe rent. I ask what that means. He just laughs. Once he hands me a key. Says it belongs to a locked drawer upstairs. I find the drawer. Inside is a photograph. Her scarf, my smile, both too bright to be real. On the back, her handwriting. Meet me by the clock at noon. I go. Wait for hours. Crowds come and go. She never does. Until she does, appears like a page turning itself. Says hello like the word is tired. We do not hug. We do not need to. She says time is not what I think. I say I know. She says she is sorry. I say for what? She says for forgetting how to stay. The clock chimes. She fades. I reach for her. Fingers touch only air. The scarf falls to the ground. I pick it up. It smells like lemon and dust. Return to the bookstore. Old man gone. Store darker. The key on the counter now bent. Hear a whisper. You kept the wrong thing. Turn around. Nothing there. Open the book again. Last page blank. Until I blink. New line appears. You were never supposed to find me. The ink drips. I do not move. Wind blows through the open door. Pages turn by themselves. It sounds like a sigh. The scarf slips from my hands. It unravels midder, thread by thread, fading like mist. The book closes itself. I move to the window, see her reflection again, but older, tired. She mouths something. I cannot hear, but I know. The store feels colder. I whisper her name again. The lights flicker once, then steady. The book now sealed shut, and I let it stay that way. For now, years pass. I still hear her laughter sometimes, through the walls and the pipes. The old man never returns. People say the bookstore runs itself. I let them believe it. Truth sounds too much like fiction anyway. The scarf remains in the drawer. The photograph fades each year. My reflection looks more like a memory than a man. Sometimes I dream of two birds flying again. This time with strings whole. This time they do not fall. The book stays on the highest shelf, collecting dust like quiet forgiveness. I never open it again. But I feel it breathing at night, like an old heart refusing to stop. The bookstore sighs. I sigh with it. Once, a girl came in wearing yellow, asked for the shape of forgotten things. I froze. She smiled, said her grandmother used to love it. I sold her the last copy, the one that used to be mine. She left humming, the sound familiar, too familiar. The door closed, and I sat there for a long time. The air felt lighter, like someone had finally forgiven me, or maybe I had finally forgiven myself. Later that night, I found a note under the door. It said thank you, in blue ink. Same handwriting as before. I smiled, for real this time. The city outside was quiet. The pages stopped turning. The air smelled like rain again. The lights stayed steady. I whispered good night, and for once, no echo answered back. The note in blue ink sat on the table. The handwriting was familiar and strange. I traced each letter slowly, felt years folded into a single line. The city outside hummed quietly. The scarf lay folded in the drawer. Its color faded slightly, like sunlight through old glass. I touched it, remembered her hands tying it once. Paper nudged my leg, looked at me with expectant eyes. I whispered hello. The book on the highest shelf seemed to breathe. Its spine arched like a living thing. I resisted the urge to open it. Resistance felt like courage. Sometimes courage is quiet. The city smelled of rain and concrete, and something older, like memory itself. I walked through familiar streets. Every corner felt unclaimed. Lamplights flickered politely. A girl with a yellow scarf passed me. She was not her, just someone wearing the same color. I let her go. Letting go is a lesson in survival. That night I dreamed of her. She stood by a window. Her hands held paper boats full of stars. They sailed silently, never sinking, never returning. Woke up to the smell of coffee. The old man's shop had reopened. He poured 2 cups out of habit, smiled and said good morning. I wandered to the bookstore. The floors creaked. The shelves whispered secrets. The photograph of us had disappeared. The drawer contained a single note. Keep moving. The note smelled faintly of lemon. I folded it carefully. Walked outside into soft drizzle. The rain made the city glow. Paper ran ahead chasing something unseen. The streets twisted. Alleys I had never noticed opened under lamplight. The wind carried whispers. Her laughter threaded through the city. I stopped, listening. The sound faded, leaving warmth, at the old clock tower. A small envelope sat on the ledge, my name written in blue ink. Hands trembled opening it. Inside, meet me where the boats sleep. The harbor at night. Stars scattered across the water. I hurried. Paper barked at the wind. We arrived at the pier. A single paper boat floated alone. Inside, a note. I waited for you. Her voice, soft and clear. I never left completely. She stepped into moonlight, yellow scarf draped gently. Eyes tired but kind. I reached for her hand. She took it without hesitation. The harbor whispered around us. Boats creaked, waves lapped quietly. We walked along the pier, sharing nothing but rhythm of breathing. Paper ran along the edge, tail wagging. Like a bridge between then and now. The city behind us blinked. Streetlights dimmed. The air smelled of salt, rain, possibility. She told me she learned to return, to stay without breaking, to forgive herself and others. I said I learned the same. We laughed softly, the sound small but infinite. For the first time in years, I felt forgotten things settle into something gentle, quiet that did not demand. A place holding joy and grief. We walked together, through streets, rain, quiet mornings, through laughter, arguments, small discoveries. Noticed each other even when words failed. Left markers of love in corners of the world. The scarf brushed my coat. Paper lay at our feet. The harbor reflected the moon. Our reflections intertwined. The city breathed around us. The book, the drawer, the photograph. All had served their purpose. Lessons folded into memory. We only needed each other. Dawn broke. Water glimmered like molten silver. We watched the sunrise. Hands held, hearts steady. Quiet felt like home. Years later I remembered this night. The moment forgotten shapes became real. The lost and the waiting met. We walked back to the city, Paper trotting happily. We never said goodbye again. The scarf still smelled faintly of lemon. The harbor whispered secrets we no longer needed. The city kept its stories. We kept each other. Finally at peace.